This video is actually a request by someone. I decided to share it here. Maybe someone else could find it valuable also. The question is, how do I discover myself? How do I discover myself? It's a very huge topic, and I believe it's something that everyone struggles with at some point. It's a very important question. Many people have asked themselves at some point or the other in their lives. In fact, it might be one of the most important decisions a person can make in his or her life. And I believe that there are some topics that we cannot discuss. There are some things that we cannot accurately do justice to in just a bit of 60 seconds content. Some things have huge gravity. Along the line, I would share a very personal story that I don't think I've ever shared with anyone before, a personal story regarding this topic. So, to start with, normally when we go to school, from primary school to high school, to college or university, they are meant to be to build us up in some certain areas and help us develop skills. And what we study should be an indication of ourselves, because through the academic journey, it is expected that we are to discover ourselves. Here's what I mean. When we start out in the primary school, everyone does the same thing. Everyone offers the same set of courses. But as we progress, the number of courses reduced, maybe in high school. But the moment you get to the university, the areas you focus on get reduced also. So they expect that per time, through accurate self-study and mentorship, whether from a mentor, external mentor, or from your parents, you'll be able to, through the time, through the courses you have studied, and through your grades, you'll be able to find out the place that you lean, where your strength lies. So the courses, the modules you study get reduced. So when you get to university, some move to this side, some move to that side. Some study science, some study arts. You understand? Some study accounting, medicine, you know what I mean. And as you go, even in the higher institution, the university stage, the higher you go, the leaner your focus becomes. Because when you first get to the 100 level, the first year, you study a wide range of courses, of modules. But as you proceed, your focus gets leaner and leaner and leaner, if you understand what I mean. So by the time you get to your 5th year or 7th year, as the case may be, what you'll be studying at that point will be a subset of what you started with. So it is expected that through the journey from primary, secondary, and high school, and college and university, you've been able to identify where your strengths and weaknesses are. In quotes, you've been able to discover yourself. So you know where to focus on as you journey through the university. So by the time you come out at the end, you come out more refined, more equipped for the marketplace. So in a sense, as we grow, we have better understanding of who we are, where our strength lies, and where our weaknesses are. We grow into the knowledge of who we are, and the earlier the better. The earlier we identify where our strength lies, the better the trajectory of our life is going to be. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the educational system is supposed to help us streamline our focus and help us identify the areas that we are best suited. So we developed knowledge and skills in that area that will be needed when we eventually come out at the other end of the schooling system. But that is not the case. The thing is that for most people, while they were making the decision on which path to follow, on which road, on which course, which department to choose, by the time we make the decision of what to study, many people were not equipped with the knowledge of who they are, where their strength lies, or where we are going to, in order to pick a course that is better suited for them. But by the time they realize it, whether it always happen at the 2nd year, 3rd year, or 4th year, or even at the 5th year, they start asking the question, why am I even doing this? But at that point, they felt it was too late and the most logical thing to do is to see it through. So they just stuck to it and continued. So consequently, many people went through university doing the things that are not better suited for them. But when they got to the other side, after the whole journey of the university race, they have a certificate that they are not completely interested in. Not out of laziness, because some people are lazy, but not out of laziness, but it doesn't fully align with who they are. So they have a certificate that does not fully align with who they are. But when they look back at the time that has been invested to secure the certificate, the money that has been spent to secure the certificate, and the general expectation, they believe they have no choice but to see it through and continue down that path. Which is why at the end of the day, many people become slaves to what they study. A friend asked me a similar question recently, and I gave her an answer, and I would like to give you the answer also. The answer is in a form of a question. So I would like to ask you the same question today. The question is this: if you silence the voices of your certificate, if you silence the voices of your family, if you silence all the voices of expectations around you, and the only voice you can hear is yours and the voice of God. Because truly, every man's purpose is found in God. Bible says, what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, the things of God knoweth no man, save the Spirit of God. But that's not where we are going today. So if you silence all the voices of your certificate, the voices of the time spent so far to acquire whatever you have acquired till now, the voices of expectations from your friends, from your family, and all the voices of expectations around you, and you can only hear yourself and the voice of God, would you still be doing what you are doing? Will you still be walking while you are waking? Will you still continue down the path that you are already on? Or would you change? So now, if the answer is yes, that if you silence every other voices, the voices of your accomplishments, your certifications, your education, your family, the voices of several expectations around you, if you will still be doing what you are doing, I would say congratulations. Continue. It is really for you. So get better and better at what you are doing. That's for you. But if the answer is no, if you won't be there, if you will be far away from there, from what you are doing, not out of laziness, if you be far away from where you are currently going, if you be far away from what you are currently doing, I would say congratulations to you too, because this is a very important point in your life. Truly, if we consider the amounts that we have spent, the time that has been invested to secure the said certificate, you wouldn't want to start all over again. No one would. But I tell you this, if you are on a path that does not align with you, that does not fully align with your spirit or what you want to do with your life, 10 years from now, the question will still be in your mind. The question would still be in your mind. So if the answer is no, then again, congratulations. That would lead me to the second question. But before I ask the second question, you've got work to do. You've got work to do. And the second question that I'll ask you is this: what would you rather be doing? Now that you've figured out that what you are doing and where you are going is not a place you would like to end up, let me now ask you this. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want to become? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? What do you want to make out of your own life? How would you like your life to be? What do you want? What does the end look like to you if everything is by your design? What would you want if you could have anything? Who do you want to become? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to affect? What would you like to do? Discovery of yourself lies in the answer to these questions. What are the things you like? See, and the truth is, you don't have to be good at them at the moment. No. You just need to know, have a sense of destination. Have a sense of where you would like to end up. Where would you like to end up? What do you want? What do you want? Who do you want to become? See, discovering yourself is having an indication of where you would like to end up, not what you would do today. Leave what you would do today. When all is said and done, where would you like to end up? That's where discovery is. It's not mainly in what you would do today. It's what does the end look like to you? That's where self-discovery is. Then we can now trace the step back and find out what you need to do today. What makes you feel fulfilled? What is that thing that when you do it, it makes you feel fulfilled? Whether you were paid for it or you are not paid for it, but it makes you feel proud of yourself that you've done something. What makes you feel fulfilled? And this brings me to the story of the greatest mistake I've ever made in my life. The greatest mistake I've ever made in my life. I haven't told anyone this story before, but the people that are close to me know the story or have an idea of when it happened. While I was in the university, in a bid to support myself through the school, I got involved in many jobs. I was a DJ, I was a video editor, a sound engineer, I did crypto, I did graphics design. But the major one that I want to talk to you about is graphic design and crypto. So while I was in school, I realized that the money, the income I get from crypto to the income I get from graphics design was around the ratio of 10 to 1. Like 10 to 1. Like I could make 20,000 naira on the crypto in a day, and I could make 2,000 naira from graphics design. That was what I realized, that the amount of money that I made in crypto and the amount of money I made in graphics design, they were not the same, like exponentially different. So I could make, it's 10 times different, around 10 times different. So within 5 minutes, I could make 20,000 naira in crypto. And within 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, or 8 hours, it may take me 8 hours to make 2,000 naira from graphics design. But then I realized that the money that I get from graphics design Even though it took the most of my time, but still, it gave me this sense of fulfillment. Give me this sense of fulfillment. Like I felt so happy. I felt so proud of myself. When my customer make the payment of 2,000 naira to my account, I felt so happy, so proud of myself. Despite the fact that I've already made 25,000 naira earlier that same day. But I got so focused on the fact that I could make 2,000 naira from graphics design. This went on and on. I began to put more value over the 2,000 naira that I made. And I've gotten so in love with the fact that I could make money from graphic design because it gave me so much sense of fulfillment that I started developing hatred for the 20,000, 25,000 naira that I made, 50,000 naira that I could make from crypto with little to no effort. And this one I spent 7 hours in to make just 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira. I got better with the along the way, and I could charge more. I'm not really the type that gets so greedy with money, in the sense that maybe that's one of the reasons. Like, get so focused on money. Like, that sense of fulfillment that I got from graphics design made me so happy. Like, I was so happy and so into it that I somehow, deep down, I began to develop this dislike, this hatred for crypto. And that started planting some thoughts in my head. Please note, my feelings were genuine. This gave me fulfillment. This doesn't. And I looked down the line at that point, like 10 years from now, which one of these two will I be proud of? Now see what lack of proper thinking and lack of accurate mentorship cost me. It got to a point I made a stupid decision, the most stupid decision of my life, that I'm going to quit doing crypto, which was giving me so much money, and focus on graphics design, which was barely paying my phone bills. Why? Because it gave me fulfillment. Because it made me feel proud of myself. And that was the greatest mistake of my life. Because that mistake did not only cost me in money, it cost me in time. It cost me energy. It cost me stress. That it only took God to recover from. That mistake almost turned my life upside down. And why was the mistake costly? Because the wise thing to do would not be to quit the crypto that I was doing. Because at the time, I wasn't fully developed yet in the graphic design that I was doing. I was not fully developed yet. If I'm sharing the story today and someone is learning from it, then I count it all joy. Like Paul said. Was it Paul? I'm not even sure. I count it all joy. So the better decision would have been to keep focusing on the crypto. One, to get enough resources, to get enough money from there that would sponsor what I really want to do. I did not do that. I just quit it completely. And what I was supposed to do is to keep making sure that the money was coming in, cut down my expenses, and take the money to savings so I can use the money to develop myself in what I really wanted to do. It was later that I found out, when I looked closely later, during the consequences of my decision that I found out it was not graphics design per se that was giving me the fulfillment. No, what was giving me the actual thing that was giving me the fulfillment was just manifesting itself through the graphic design. I felt fulfilled genuinely. But my mistake was to think, one of my mistakes, because I did not only make one. No, I told you the stupid decision that I stopped doing crypto. The mistake there was to think it was graphics design that was giving me the fulfillment. It wasn't graphic design. The real thing that was giving me the fulfillment was manifesting itself through graphic design. But I thought it was graphic design on itself. But it wasn't graphic design. Which is why you have to stay at the job you are doing, on the path you are going, and spend time to develop yourself while you still remain on that path. That is my genuine advice to you. You have to stay on the path that you are currently on, the path that you've spent time to develop, to grow in, to get the certification in, until you are fully developed in the area where you would like to go, until you found out the truth about you, about yourself. You have to remain on that path continuously striving on the path to get better at what you currently do, what currently brings money to you, not only to gather enough resources that you can now direct to the path you really want to follow. Not only because of that, but that's one of the reasons. You have to stay at it. We both know not for long, but now you need to spend time to develop yourself, both intellectually, spiritually, and even physically. Because you cannot, Bible says, when I was a child, when I thought as a child, spoke as a child, understood as a child. Right now that you are asking the question of how do you develop yourself, that is not the end, it's just the beginning. So don't veer off from where you are doing, where you are facing. What you need to do is to start developing yourself, to find out the whole answer. Then you can completely leave the path and face the path you are supposed to face. That's the best answer I can give you. And how do you develop yourself? Personal development is one of the things that you cannot escape in this life. If you want to do something important with your life, you cannot avoid personal development. Let me give it to you straight. You cannot avoid, you cannot escape personal development. If you want to get to any good point in your life, you cannot escape personal development. You need to develop yourself, acquire the skills, acquire the mindset, acquire everything. Develop yourself. Build up yourself in the area where you would like to go, where you would like to be, while you still stay on the path. Remember, I asked you to picture, what does the end look like to you? Where would you like to end up? When you've discovered that, you now trace the step backward to find out what you need to do today while you are still on that path. So you have to put in the work while you're still on that path, because you must not drop for now until you are fully grown. Then you can completely shift your focus. But right now, it's personal development time for you. This is May in year 2024. You have enough time to sit down and develop yourself. Develop yourself Find out the skills you need to acquire. Read all the books you need to read. Do all the things you need to do to build up yourself so that you can arrive at that future you have pictured for yourself. So you start building yourself. Buy courses, buy books, watch videos. In fact, today, there is no way, there is no excuse for lack of personal development. Everything you need is available. And they are available so cheap. I mean, so cheap. You have no excuse. You have no excuse. So find out. Like if you are to discuss with me where you would like to end up, the things you would like to do, we may be able to come together and find out what are the things you need to do today. Where do you need to go today? What do you need to start today? Because today may not be the day it ends, but let it be the day it begins. I can't say everything in a single video, and my heart, it really touched me when I saw the request for this video, and I decided to share. I hope you get it. I hope it helps you. But if you have a question, reach out. Let's talk. Let's talk. We don't need to make it a video. Let's talk personally.